Hello guys, today we're back with another video, and today I will be teaching you on how to defend the Queen's Gambit. I will be teaching you the Albin counter gambit and Slav defense. Basically, it starts off like this. If your opponent plays the Queen's Gambit, this. So then what do you want to do here? You don't want to take immediately. You don't want to take that pawn immediately. What you want to do is you want to play this. D5. And then it kind of crushes the Queen's Gambit in the beginning. If the pawn captures on D5, you would take with the Queen, and you're attacking this pawn with your pawn and with the Queen. So the next move here, White could probably just do this. But if White wants to get greedy here for this Queen, they would do this to attack the Queen, cover this square, and that square. So then here, a good move for Black is actually to take this pawn. And then if they take right back with their Queen, you take the Queen, then you're attacking the Knight, and the Knight is forced to move. In this position, White could also just play this instead, and then protect the pawn. But then you can just take this pawn, and then they would take back, and the Queen is just still in the middle of the board. And there could also be a little trap here on this defense. The Albin counter defense. You would do this, this, and if they take, then this will happen. Then after this, you'd want to move this pawn forward. If White then does this is actually a blunder. We would move this right here, check. And then usually they would block with this bishop and try to get a trade. But then here, you'd want to do this. And then your opponent wonders why you leave the bishop hanging here. You just leave the bishop hanging. But then after this, you would do this. Check. If your opponent took the pawn with the Queen right here, it would actually be a blunder because you would just take their Queen with your Queen. But usually your opponent would see that and just move here. But then after they move here, you would take the Knight. And then if you were on computer where you can have more than like one of the piece or more than two, then you would actually switch this to a Knight. Check. Right after this, probably take the Knight with the Rook. So then, but White is in a very bad position here and easily attacking the Queen. If the Queen will come down and take, you just take back, and Black is in a good position to win this game. Now that I've taught you the Albin defense, I will now be teaching you the Slav defense. So it basically starts off with the same thing, but different. Instead of doing this, you do this. And this is called the Slav defense. Usually, your opponent would do this to kind of control the square, protect the pawn. And you would develop your Knight as well to protect your pawn. Then it would usually be this right here, and then Black would just start taking the pawns in the middle. Then your opponent might do this to pin the knight and like prevent like kind of like a move like this here. And then you would want to do this so you prevent this move right here. And if your opponent would do like this, you would take with the knight. They would take with their knight. Then you would take with this bishop. And then you destroyed a pawn and a knight. And maybe if they move their knight somewhere, if they don't want to get their knight to get attacked, like they would move maybe this, for example, you could just take, then you can just, maybe just do like, then if your opponent wants to play this here, you could just take with this knight. You would take your knight. You would take the bishop. And now you win a pawn and a knight for just a knight. And you're kind of attacking this knight here. Usually here in this position, they would just move this pawn to e3 instead of moving that there. They move here, right on e3. So they can just protect the pawn. Double protect it. Right here in this position, white can just take this pawn here as well. And then after black can play a move here like maybe like this to double protect. Try to not make the move this square. They would usually like castle here, and then it would just be a challenging game. That is how to defend with the Slav defense. And yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.